Say Adonai Eloheinu Be'amcha Yisrael U'tefilatam Be'ahava tikabel. Humbled in prayer we seek to reach you, hoping to be heard, hearts open wide, longing to be true. Oh, let us know that you are near. Open our hearts that we may hear your still clear voice within us all. May we be worthy in our prayer and feel your presence everywhere. And may we answer when you call. Say Adonai Eloheinu Be'amcha Yisrael U'tefilatam Be'ahava tikabel. Oh, let us know that you are near. Open our hearts that we may hear your still clear voice within us all. May we be worthy in our prayer and feel your presence everywhere. And may we answer when you call. And may you answer when we call. Say Adonai Eloheinu. Say Adonai Eloheinu. Ya la 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 ya la la la. Shamru v'nei Yisrael Shabbat, Shabbat, Lasot Shabbat, Ladorotam, Berit Olam, Berit Olam. Beini uvein bnei Yisrael, Odhi leolam. Beini uvein bnei Yisrael, Odhi leolam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat, vayinafar. Beini uvein bnei Yisrael, Odhi leolam. Beini uvein bnei Yisrael, Odhi leolam.
Shabbat Shalom. How many of you out there have books in your hands, in your lap? Okay, good. So if you don't, this is your chance to go get a book because we are going old school tonight. We're using the books. We're just going to use the screen for a nice little backdrop. We're not going to do any little fancy stuff on the screen. We're just going to follow along with the books because why not? We haven't done it for a while, and the book has some nice readings too. So, and plus, the rabbis aren't here, so I get to choose what I want to do. So, and I decided to just use the books. So, also, little disclaimer, full disclosure. So the rabbis are out of town on vacation this week and next week. I'm just coming off of a couple days of laryngitis, so I really do not exactly know what's going to happen. I might just start some full-out Nashville yodeling in the middle of the service. We'll see what happens. And also, as the Averys were asking, how's my wrist? So for those of you who don't know, but probably most of you do, I broke my wrist in April. I tripped over my daughter's Newfoundland dog while I was standing still, and the dog was sitting down, but then the dog stood up and knocked me off my balance, and I fell down face first, broke my wrist. Just now getting back to playing the guitar. I haven't played for more than about 5 minutes at a time, so I'm gonna give it a try. Also, I'm sitting down because I'm just getting done with my frozen shoulder, so it's just all kinds of fun, but I'm gonna give it a try, and it'll all be beautiful because we have the wonderful Jenny Young here, and she makes everything sound beautiful, whether I can play guitar or sing or not. I'm just so delighted to have her, and delighted to see all of you. I see some new faces, so please say hello. I see some familiar faces that I haven't seen in a long time. Kim Phillips, so glad to see you. And the Isaacs family is here, getting ready for a big bar mitzvah next Saturday. So we're glad you're here. So we're going to do our best to guide you through a enjoyable Shabbat experience, no matter what happens. So for now, let's go to the middle of page 6, and we will read together. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. And Pam Simmons has graciously offered to light the Shabbat candles for us. And in the meantime, we'll turn to page 3 for a reading at the top of the page. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. And we turn to, let's see, what page is Shalom Aleichem on? I don't think I wrote that down, but I think it's on maybe page 24, if I'm guessing right. And there's an interesting little reading at the bottom of the page that talks about Shalom Aleichem. Yeah, it says, Shalom Aleichem is a 17th century Shabbat table song, Zimra, probably composed under the influence of Lurianic Kabbalah, and it alludes to Shabbat 119b, which states that 2 angels accompany each person home from the synagogue as Shabbat begins. So please sing with me. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Baruch Bachuni Shalom Malachi HaShalom Malachi Elyon Mimech Malachi HaMachim HaKadosh Baruch Seichem Shalom Malachi HaShalom Malachi Elyon Mimech Malachi HaMachim HaKadosh Baruch. We turn to page 26 as we rise for Chatzi Kaddish. Yitkara v'yitkadash Shamei Rabbah Ba'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chai echon u'v'yom echon u'v'chai l'chol Beit Yisrael b'gala u'v'zman karif v'yimaru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mavorach L'olam ul'almei almaya Yitbarach Yitbarach v'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei V'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal Shemei d'Kudusha barichu Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Damiran velma vehimaru Amen. Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Ba'en HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Ba'en. You may be seated. We turn to page 30 for the words of Ma'ariv Aravim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher baro Ma'ariv Aravim Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam of page 33. Please read with me. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. We continue chanting the words of V'ahavta on page 36. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavacha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'aderech uv'shachbecha uv'kumecha וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו, ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני, אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. The middle of page 39. Let's read together. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God on heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt, we were delivered. At Sinai, we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again, we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. 2, 3, 4. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la la. Ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi chamocha le'edar v'kodesh. Nora tehilot osef elech. We sing now the words of Hashkivenu, which asks us for protection when we lie down and to keep us sheltered when we rise up in the day. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomrim l'chai. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomrim l'chai. Ufos aleinu sukat shlomecha l'hoshienu l'man shemecha. Help us to know that you're near, that your presence is here. Let us lie down in peace every night. And when we rise in the day, keep us sheltered, we pray. Guide us, God, with your love and your light. Baruch atah Adonai, Amorei Sukkot Shalom, Eloheinu melech kol Yisrael. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomrim l'chai. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomrim l'chai. Middle of page 47. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. We rise for tefillah on page 46. Adonai tzifatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'Nehem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Hozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol Atarav Lehoshia, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Ve'rofech Oholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar, michamocha ba'al gevurot umito melech, melech memit umechaye umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah lehachayot hakol, baruch atah Adonai mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shemcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha salah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Please take these next few moments for your own silent prayer, and when you have completed them, you may be seated. Thank you, Jenny. We take a moment at this point in the service to think of people in this community, our loved ones who might be in need of a prayer for healing of body, of mind, or spirit. We're thinking of these people from our community: Steve Geringer, Savannah Morris, Jane Sherberg, Paul Richter, Crystal Miller, Janice Grossman, Charlie Baugh, Monette Chance, Mickey Collins, Karen Eisner, TJ Cohen, the member Lisa Silver, Dick Eskind, Steve Gould, B.B. Weinstein, and Alex Morgan. If you have any names that you'd like to add, please feel free to do so. Join together in a prayer for healing. For the hurt of body and of soul, for the suffering and pain, as you heal the ones who came before, may you heal us just the same. רפואת הנפש והגוף אל נא רפאנה. רפאנו אדוני רפואה שלמה. For the hurt of body and of soul, for the suffering and pain, as you heal the ones who came before, may you heal us just the same. As you heal the ones who came before, may you heal us just the same. So I've chosen to read a Devar Torah tonight from Cantor Evan Kent. Cantor Evan Kent is a Ola Chadash, a new immigrant living in Jerusalem. He made Aliyah a few years ago from Los Angeles. He is on the faculty of Hebrew Union College Jewish Institute of Religion, and for 25 years he served Temple Isaiah in Los Angeles, California. He's also a really close running buddy of Rabbi Lori, so it seemed like an appropriate sermon to choose. He says, when I prepare the Torah scroll for the upcoming Shabbat and come to that white space dividing the end of the book of Numbers from the beginning of Deuteronomy, I feel a moment of exhilaration. Just as the words of Torah are open to many interpretations, so too is this space between the two books, which anthropologist Victor Turner describes as liminal space in his book, The Ritual Process. These are the places of transition, betwixt and between the positions assigned and arrayed by law, custom, convention, and ceremonial. But it is here in this space that we find wonder, inspiration, personal and communal change, and often the power to move forward, to encounter the unknown. In the Torah, it is where we begin to leave the desert and make our way to the promised land. For me, the encounter with this liminal space is a calendrical alarm clock, reminding me that the Jewish New Year is approaching. In the Torah, it is like a sign in the desert that announces, "Welcome to California," or the moment when you cross the George Washington Bridge and the sign says, "Welcome to New York." Here, the white space says, "Welcome to Deuteronomy." It reminds us that we are quickly coming to the end of the Torah's yearly journey. But that space also sings and whispers to me the familiar narrative of the Jewish people. You are on your journey home. You've come so far. Let's finish this expedition together. And we will soon sing our high holiday tune, Hashivenu Venashuva. Return us back to you so we can return. We feel both the excitement and trepidation of Moses' stirring words, knowing that eventually we will mourn his death at the conclusion of Deuteronomy. When I enter that place between the books, I often wonder, what would have happened if the story had a different outcome this time? What if Moses had been forgiven by God? What if Moses had led the people into the land of Israel? In February 2020, just a few weeks before COVID-19 overwhelmed our lives, I traveled from Israel to the United States to visit my family on Long Island, and also to catch up with faculty and students at HUC-JIR, meet up with college friends, and take in a few Broadway shows. That's when I had this insight. Entering the theater, finding your seat, settling in, and waiting for the lights to dim is like that blank space in the Torah between what happens on stage and the real world on the other side of the theater's exit doors. The last show I saw before the Broadway theaters went dark was Hadestown. It is a contemporary retelling of the Orpheus and Eurydice story. If you recall your Greek mythology, you will remember that Eurydice is sent to Hades, and only Orpheus can lead her back to Earth. But he is warned not to turn around to see if Eurydice is still following. As myths would have it, Orpheus does look back, and his beloved is banished forever to Hades. So what does this Hadestown have to do with Devarim, this week's Torah portion? In both, we know the outcome. At the end of Deuteronomy, we know that Moses is telling the Israelites to obey God, not to stray from the path God has set before them, to remember that they were once slaves in Egypt, all in anticipation of his impending death, as revealed in the final verses of Deuteronomy. As Moses blesses each of the Israelite tribes, his tone changes from that of a sometimes angry parent to that of a loving father. Before ascending Mount Nebo to die, he offers both a remembrance of the past and hope for the future. At the conclusion of Hadestown, the narrator looks directly at the audience and sings, "It's an old song. It's an old tale from way back when. It's an old song, and that's how it ends. The song was written long ago, and that's how it goes. It's a sad song, it's a tragedy, but we sing it anyway. Because here's the thing, to know how it ends and still begin to sing it again." These final lyrics remind us how even though we may know the outcome of the story, we read it and retell it again and again. When we hear the myth of Orpheus and Eurydice, we hope that maybe, just maybe this time, Orpheus will not turn around, and the couple will enter the world of the living together. When we read Torah, we can hope against hope that maybe, just maybe, this time Moses will enter the promised land, hand in hand with his successor Joshua, instead of dying alone on Mount Nebo. But every time we tell the story, Orpheus does turn around. And every time we finish the book of Deuteronomy, Moses does die. And every time we will finish the book of Deuteronomy and immediately read anew the beginning of the Torah, the creation story, we already know what will happen. But that is the gift of storytelling. For a brief moment, we can suspend our knowledge of the revealed plot, as if we are hearing the story for the very first time. As we are told in Hadestown, we're going to sing it again and again. And as we are told in Pirkei Avot 5:22, Ben Bagbag would say, turn it and turn it again, for all is in it. See through it, grow old and worn in it. Do not budge from it, for there is nothing that works better than it. Shabbat Shalom. So I would like to call the Averys to come up and open the ark as we rise for Elenu. And Elenu is on page 283. Aleinu l'shabech l'adon hakol, latet gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu k'gilei haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'meshachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz. Bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad. U'shemo echad. This week, we honor the following yahrzeits: Stephen Craig Zeitlin, Lillian Landau Schklar, Ethel Kraft, Howard Bear, Horace Small, Dr. Samuel J. Simon, Eileen Evans, Harriet Marcus Urbano, Ray Bernstein, Franda Patricia Irvin, Joe Harnell, Dr. Stanley Bernard, David Richmond, Frida Roberts, née Schlesinger, Betty Potts, Edmund Goldman, Sam Jacobs, Arthur Mark, Babe Small, Jerry Pardo, B. Burkon, Ben Merman, Bessie Rabinovitz. We continue mourning for Rich Moschel, Henry E. Foyer, Dr. Bob Sirkin, Aidan Becker, Robert Golden, Des Zamek, Elaine Farinacci, Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, Charlene Krahili, John Giffen, Faye Sirkin, Joyce Murray, Richard I. Bourne, Fran Schmerling, Peggy J. West, Christopher Miller, Molly Stein, Alfred Cohen, Joseph W. Blumenthal, Leonard Baxt, Joanne Cohen, Jack Chirac, Hilda Jackman, Peter Weiss, Mary Frank, and Gersha Rogers. If I've neglected to add a name or pronounced a name wrong, please feel free to add. We join together in the words of Kaddish Tome, page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divarach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei d'kudasha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, ta'amiran ve'alma ve'imru amen. Yehei shlam araba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, amen. Please be seated. I've got a whole bunch of announcements, and you don't want to have to stand for all of those. So, Torah studies, Saturday, July 17th, that's tomorrow, at 9 a.m. via Zoom. The Micah office will be closed next week, the week of July 19th through the 23rd. Sports trivia now available on first Tuesdays of the month at 10:30 a.m. Okay then, I'm not sure where, but I guess if you go to the website, you'll find out. Mahjong is also back up and running every Tuesday at 12:30 p.m., and that's live here in the social hall. Note, for those of you who are in the high quality choir, well, it is a high quality choir, a high holiday choir. I see Pam. If anyone else, rehearsals start next Sunday, and you're in it too, I hope, yes. Yes, if you are interested in joining and you haven't done anything about it yet, come see me after the service, because there's still time. We'd love to have you. So that's next Sunday, and we rehearse every Sunday and every Thursday between now and the High Holy Days. The next Schmooze and Views, Thursday, July 29th at 10:30 a.m. in person and via Zoom. Connect via our events page. Micah has rolled out a new membership portal called Shul Cloud, an online portal required for all members. Be sure to sign in ASAP and update your annual giving information, make payments, view the Micah directory, update your contact information, and add yard sites. And I'm told it's quite easy to do, and once you're in the system, it's great. So if you want to talk more about it, you can see Mindy right there in the back, if she doesn't dodge out the door before you make it to her. Note that High Holy Days start early this year, yes, on Labor Day. Keep an eye out for a schedule of events coming soon. Would you like to honor the memory of your loved ones through our High Holy Days Book of Remembrance? Check your weekly Micah e-blast to complete the registration form. The next book club Zoom meeting will be on August 2nd at 7 p.m., and they're reading The Splendid and the Vile. The Women's Circle will pick back up on Friday, August 20th at 12 p.m. Keep a lookout on the Micah events page for more information coming soon. Here's something that's going to be fun. Shabbat Shabang, not to be confused with Shabbat Shaband, but Shabbat Shabang, is a Friday night designed to bring Micah's family of families together. Starting at 6 p.m., get into your spiritual groove with Jewish music, storytelling, food trucks, inflatables, friends old and new. All are welcome. More info and registration available on the Micah events page, because the date isn't listed here, so if you want to know when, Mindy will tell us. When is it? August 20th? We think it's August 20th. Go to the events page, it will tell you. It looks like it's going to really be a lot of fun. And the next blood drive is scheduled for Sunday, August 29th. Go to redcross.org. Under Give Blood, click Find a Drive. Use password CHAI, C-H-A-I, to sign up for Micah's drive. Okay, with all of that, we're going to have a Kiddush, so please rise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon, hilchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Amen. L'chaim. And before we say Shabbat Shalom and say goodbye, I want to say thank you so much to Jenny Young for making everything beautiful. Thank you to Misty back there for running all the tech. And for people who are just here for the first time this evening, we welcome you. And if you want to say hello to Mindy, our membership director, she knows everything about Micah. I'm sure she would be glad to welcome you. So I hope to see you again, and Shabbat Shalom. 1, 2, 3, 4.